Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Unfortunately for this race, we only have the video. I wasn't able to record the audio portion of it. Some mistake from my end, but hopefully I can do a voiceover over this, salvage some clips, maybe put some nice music in the background, hopefully. And let's see how this goes. I welcome you to the Monaco Grand Prix for the Bwoah Racing League. So let's see how it goes. So, heading into this race, I think I was definitely going for the one-stop strategy. Medium to hard would be ideal, but soft to hard seemed like it would be the best way to go, because not taking that one additional stop towards the end would be good for track position and stuff, So, but we just had to make this work, The hard tires didn't really have good pace. Yeah, so we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. Pretty good start going into turn 1. Very good start. KDB slightly slow into the corner. I sort of backed out here thinking, because I didn't want to go over to accelerate, and we just slot in, and hopefully we can separate ourselves from the guys behind. And already we have our first virtual safety car. Pretty much expected in Monaco, isn't it? I think all of us would have definitely accounted for the virtual safety cars and the other safety cars as well in our strategy. That was one of the reasons why I thought maybe I can underfuel a bit, which is what I've done. And plus, on a controller, it's pretty difficult to change your fuel modes and the ERS while you're driving, especially around this track. Getting really close to accelerate here on the exit of shit, I don't know any of these corner names, but that was pretty close. So the gaps are pretty far out from the back, you could say. It's pretty spread out, especially at the back of the grid. But right in front, we are pretty close. All 5-6 of us here in front of the grid. End of lap 1. So let me take you around a lap of Monaco. Going into turn 1, we brake just about the bridge. Ideally we want to take 4th gear there, but with all the fuel on board, might not be very possible. Go down 2 gears here, try to keep it tight towards the left hand side. Another gear down here. There is a big kink here which you could avoid, but again, depending on how you feel comfortable. I go a bit wide into that corner, but ideally, especially in this portion of the track, you need to select the right gears at the right time. So that's where all the time is. Looking for a good exit here, get an okay exit, and we are down the tunnel section. So far, pretty okay lap. Start braking down the bridge and really want to trail back into that corner, hold the brake nice and tightly into the chicane. Here again, a little bit cautious turning in, but I think you could have turned it much more aggressively there. Brake a bit at the take a bit more curve as well. Here is another good braking section where you could gain a lot of time. And here, the wall on the right hand side. Well, you need to get really close to it if you want to get really good lap times there. KDB doing 15.4 and we have done a 15.8. Pretty good pace so far. So let's see how the racing falls from here on forward. Teammate pitting at lap 2 was not ideal. I think Vinith came on the radio and told me he's already crashed, so that was not ideal for him. I told him let's go on to the hard tires and then let's go towards the end. Fast forwarding a bit here, and what do we have here? Our first track warning, yes. I really tried to practice a lot for this race to nail those portions, but our first warning, hopefully not many more of that. Skipping on to lap 7, I think there's an incident here. And who was crashed here? We have KDB, who was crashed on the exit of this corner. Gifted us the position, basically. I think he had a lot of issues there clipping the inside wall, so that was pretty unfortunate for him, and we take second place right now. Pretty fortuitous, you could say. Skipping forward a few laps, and we have our first back marker. Gouts unfortunately already at the back of the grid by now, and yeah, I think this is one thing that we need to remove from the game. Getting DRS from ghosted cars is really weird, isn't it? And also the fact that, of course, we have told the drivers that, you know what, you can just stay on your racing line and we can continue on our way, but it does affect visibility a bit in terms of spotting your apexes and stuff. But overall, not too bad of an issue. I think where most of us struggle is with the when there's like 4 or 5 ghosted cars, and then that's a big issue. We are at lap 9, and it's about time to change the tires, really. Accelerate, I think he's going for the soft to medium or the soft to hard, I'm not very sure. I think KDB has definitely pit around this time, and that's why I'm kind of checking what my tire wear is. 53%, not too bad. I think, yeah, KDB is on the Williams right now, on the mediums right now, sorry. So yeah, I think this would be a good time to pit. Accelerate, I think, might be coming into the pits as well, not really sure. So let's see what happens at the pits. Gap to KDB is 24 seconds. So, and the virtual safety cars come out. Wow, I think this was incredible timing, because we are going to pit at this lap and we are going to save a lot of time. We are going to undercut, accelerate pretty much. And that 24-second gap to KDB, I think we're pretty much covering him as well. So let's see how it goes. Pit entry a bit too cautious, but overall pretty solid. Let's see how the pit stop goes. 2.7. Alfa Romeo boys, you guys need to work out a bit more, I guess. Let's get them 1.9 second lap times, eh? So let's see where we come out. Is Accelerate behind us or ahead of us? I think he is in front of us, but we've got the pit stop done, and the gap is 17 seconds. So, and yeah, we have resumed the race and we have got the undercut pretty much, I would say. And we have covered the gap to KDB as well. So great pit stop, and I think we got a stroke of luck there with that virtual safety car coming out exactly when I was going into the pits. So let's fast forward a bit and see what happens at the pit exit. Well, going into this turn, I was pretty sure I was going to get the undercut. I was really pushing for it, and we have a disconnect. One of the most frustrating portions of this game, I would say. Pretty much robbing race results Codemasters. I think even UK is disconnected. Man. So we don't know where we end up, is it? So we have to join back in and see if we have overtaken Accelerate or not. Where are we? Third place? No, that's not right. We have overtaken him. That's really good. Somehow my bot was able to keep it clean and overtake him, I guess. I don't know. But overall, it worked out in the end, I guess. I don't think Accelerate would have been this close if I was in control of the car, but great pit stop and great timing with the VSE. Well, this is around the time that you can see that the clouds are darkening a bit, but I think all of us knew that it was going to rain, but we didn't know how much it was going to rain. Well, and you can see there, Accelerate putting us on pressure, so I had to take the defensive line going into the corner. We are going to skip forward a bit. I think there might be a mistake around this corner, or it was one of the corners. No, I don't think it was on this lap, maybe in a couple of laps later. So let's skip forward in time, go into walk drive, and pretty much nothing happened here. I think I was just taking a defensive line into that corner just to make sure that he doesn't slide down the inside there. But for the most part, kept it pretty clean and tried to break away from the guys at the back. And this is what I was waiting for, I think. This was the first safety car that we had. We had 2 VSEs beforehand, so this is interesting because now we have to really think about tires, because I think all of us on the medium to hards can definitely go to the end, but it's the weather that's key here. So do we wait for the intermediates or do we go in now? Pretty uncertain, and I think all 3 of us at the front, we are pretty much circulating now, just waiting for Jeff to tell us what to do basically. This will be the lap where I think we come in, and yeah, we can see the raindrops on the screen. It's getting wet now, few drops on the screen, and immediately I'm on the phone to Jeff, or in my case Bigman Jeff. So let's see what Jeff says. I think for the most part he says dry is the best tire for the moment, but the timing of the safety car is weird in that way because it's just started raining, you know, it's not really time for the intermediates. So I think the safety car is coming in this lap. No, okay, we're going for one more lap, okay. So I think this was around the time where people were pitting for intermediates, I think. Ms. J and some of the other guys at the back did go for intermediates at this point, or maybe sometime a bit later. But for the most part, I think three of us could manage under these greasy conditions, you could say. Yeah, this is the lap where the safety car comes in and trying to get some temperature into the tires. These hard tires really need to be warmed up because, well, getting temperature into these tires are pretty hard. So that was why I was trying to hold the brake and the accelerator there, trying to get some temperature into the brakes as well. So hopefully we can keep the start clean, trying to hold up the grip, but not too much, just so that we get a good start into this turn one. Turn one, and we get a massive dose of oversteer there, but didn't cost us too much in the end. Going to turn one, how are the conditions like? Yeah, I am braking a bit early, but overall the track is not too bad at this point. A bit greasy, but definitely adapting well to the conditions. Definitely much slower here because any lateral loading there was definitely going to send me into the wall. For the most part, kept it clean, I think, and so we are going to fast forward a bit. Going into this corner, I think this is where we see our first mistake. So going really late on the brakes, and we have touched the wall and lost a lot of time there. My wing is damaged as well, so I thought, you know what, let's just let KDB by. No point wasting his track position as well. Let's just slot in and try to keep up with the front two guys basically. Well, as you can see there, Rocketman has crashed again. Pretty tough conditions for him, I would say. Going into this corner, I think right now the track is pretty greasy, I remember from this point. And we have another safety car. Prix is retiring from the session. Man, this track is something special, I would say. I don't remember what we did at this point. I think most of us stay in or we go pretty late for the intermediates, and that's why we are on the radio, Jeff asking, well, can we pit now, and for the most part Jeff was saying, you know what, we're not there yet. So I think all three of us at the front just had to keep circulating for a little bit. I was tempted to go in here, but thought better of it, and so we stay in. And we have just seen Mystery on the intermediates. Wow, that was pretty early, I think. Either a masterclass or for decision, or it's going to go badly wrong. And yeah, we're going to see something very interesting into this corner. So Nishay is right behind me, and he's crashed. So the intermediates, I don't think were the good choice at that point, I think. but for the most part, yeah, all three of us staying out. So it's very tricky, man. This weather is pretty hard to guess at this point. That's why we are spamming the radio and asking Big Man Jeff, what's up, man? Tell me what to do. I think one of us go in here. I think it's KDB. Yeah, KDB goes in. I was definitely not sure what to do at that point, but the track conditions were okay. Being on the hard tires was definitely not ideal, but I think we could have managed. But I think maybe if we fast forward a bit, we definitely go in for the intermediates in the next lap, I think. So now it's decision time. Do we go in? Do we not go in? Well, I think, oh yeah, and this was the massive mistake that we made into this corner, just going too fast. That 5 second was really going to cost us there, and I think both of us do go into the pits. So we're going to lose a lot of time, but since it's safety car, it sort of manages that, but still not ideal. So let's see how this pit stop goes. I don't think we're going to be changing our tires. We serve our 5 seconds and we're changing to the intermediates. So have we overtaken KDB? Where is KDB on track? Oh, he is on turn 1, so he has overtaken us. Yep. So in hindsight, I think we should have gone in with him. I think he's gone out of ahead of us. But again, I think we did the best out of those conditions. Looking at it in hindsight, well, can't change those decisions now, can we? Safety car coming in this lap, so let's hope to keep it clean into this corner and try to again break away from the cars at the back. I do remember that we got a pretty awful exit here, and yeah, really sliding right into that corner, and we've lost a lot of time there. So hopefully we can get settled into these very tricky conditions and come closer to the guys in the front basically, because I think this is one of those tracks where the wheel really dominates on. It's pretty hard to maximize this track on a pad or a keyboard, so let's see how it goes. Going into this turn, I do remember like we closed up the gap a lot, and we have made contact with KDB there, and I think I did check my wing here, and slight damage, but not too bad. That was one of the corners where, you know, I was really trail braking in and coming really close to the guys, so not ideal, but it's hopeful. I think going into one of these braking zones, we have the confidence to make an overtake there, so hopefully we can close up to the guys in front. So we have skipped forward a few laps, and I think this was another place where a mistake was made by one of us, and there we see KDB spinning, and yeah, that corner is really tricky for him, man. It's caught him out twice, so pretty unfortunate for him, and again we've got the second place back, so hopefully we can close the gap again to accelerate. Looking back at this clip now, I think for the most part we are pretty equal in terms of pace at this point. Maybe Accelerate was a bit faster, but again, in all the braking zones we were closing in pretty quickly, but again, since he's the car in front, so he was getting a better exit most of the time. So we were pretty even at this point. Maybe Accelerate was going a bit faster in some sections whereas I was closing him down in some of the other sections, especially sector 2, the exit of the tunnel, and we are close as ever here, so hopefully we keep it clean. I don't think there was any contact between us, but again, this corner it's a snail's pace under wet tracks, man. It's so slow. It almost looks like I'm watching this in slow motion, but it's incredibly slow under those sort of conditions, and because you're pretty much relying on the mechanical grip of the car there's no aero to turn you, basically help you with the cornering speeds at that slow speed, you know. So we are at lap 29, 10 more laps to go, and for the most part the conditions are stabilizing by this point, but more rain is on the horizon, so it's going to be tricky end in terms of what time do each of us go into the pits for the wets. So let's see what happens. Take you around another sightseeing tour of Monaco. Going into turn 1, we are braking much more earlier, much before the bridge, and almost letting the car do its thing into turn 1 basically. And again, slightly squeamish here because trying to turn in on full power was a bit tricky. Again, letting the car do its thing here. Much more cautious on the brake and the accelerator because we are using ABS, but in the rain, if you don't time your braking points properly, you are in big trouble. I don't think there's any way we can save that, but we are still braking really nicely into here and gaining a bit of time there. So hopefully if we come close to accelerate, I think that's one place we could make the overtake, but in the end I don't think either of us got that close. So lap 30 and he's gone into the pits. Well, yeah, this is where I made my, I would say, biggest mistake of the race. The wet tires. Well, I stayed on for one more lap, and then you could see the gap to KDB was around 20 seconds, and you'll see throughout the entirety of this lap it goes down and down and down, and then I realized, oh shit, we are in big trouble. So now you can see that it was 18 seconds, and we pretty much are losing our position to accelerate as well, who's 15 seconds behind. So we are going to skip forward a lap or two, or not skip forward rather, we are going to go into our hyperdrive mode and come towards the pit entry, and let's see what the lap time is here. It is 12 seconds and only 15 seconds to KDB. So we have really lost out a lot of time here. This was a massive mistake, and these guys have overtaken us, and it's a huge gap to the cars in front. It's a lot of time. Hopefully, again, like Riccardo Adami, Sebastian Vettel's engineer, would say, keep your head down and push now. We are on lap 35, and KDB has had another moment here, I think, because I see the yellow flags on the sectors again, and you can see there he has spun at the same corner. Is this the second time or the third time? Wow. And so the gap now is 1.7 seconds or so. I think it does come on the screen right now. Yes, 1.782. And I was immediately on the phone with Vinny, telling him, bro, we have a chance here. I could get second place because KDB has a 3-second time penalty. Well, I served my 5 seconds in the pits. So we have a real opportunity here, and then well, we have a massive surprise into turn 1. I got so distracted trying to tell Vineet about, I was so excited about getting the position, and we have completely lost the car going into turn 1. Just braking really late, and pretty much I lost complete concentration about my braking points there. And I've completely lost my wing as well, so I was torn between should I pit, because I could have lost a lot of positions there, but fortunately Thunderbird in 4th place is around a lap behind almost. So I told Vineet, you know what, I'm just going to keep quiet now and just finish this race, just going to stroll through the finish line, go as slow and as cautious as possible, because this wing is and I make another mistake going into that corner. So yeah, I just pretty much took it really slow and cautious, just 3 more laps, and hopefully we can hold on to this 3rd place. last lap of the race, and for the most part we have kept it clean. The front two guys are pretty much checked out. I think they're pulling around a second or two a lap. Without a front wing, there's not much I can do at this point, so just trying to drag the car across the finish line at this point, braking really early into pretty much every single corner, because pretty much all the aero load at the front is gone, so I'm just relying on the mechanical grip to take me around the track at this point. Agonizingly slow into this corner. Well, how did the race pan out so far? I think it was pretty good. We reacted well to whatever conditions we had. I think maybe if we minimize some of the mistakes at different points, especially the intermediates going on to the wets, I think if I had quit the lap before, maybe a different story. Accelerate winning the race, congratulations to him. Made the least amount of mistakes, and yeah, totally deserved it. Could have got maybe a second place, I think, but and our second warning. I'm really glad that we did keep it clean, especially in terms of track limits. We figured out where we could maximize, where we had to stay clean, and coming across the line, we take third place at the Monaco GP. Yeah, I forgot to steer there, that's why I went straight into the wall. Third place, yeah, not too bad in the end of the day, especially given that pretty much everyone else struggled. The Red Bulls coming into the points for the first time. Both the racing points, as I felt, they would struggle a lot because the racing point is pretty bad on this track. So we have done pretty well, maximized a really tough track, a really rough race, and made the most of the conditions. Congrats to the top three finishers and to everyone else who made it through this survival exercise essentially. I hope we never get to do this race again, or maybe in the next season, but no restarts or anything of the sort. Definitely amazing race for sure, but definitely at different points pretty nerve-wracking as well. 22 seconds finally, the gap between Accelerate and us, with KTB around 9 seconds behind. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't think I will get to do this a lot. This was my first time ever doing something of this sort, of voiceover over videos as well. Accelerate with the Monaco flag. Is he from Monaco? His home race, home win. Fantastic. Yeah man, amazing race. Good to see the cars there. And KDB again bringing that Williams into the podiums. Amazing drive. 11.6 was the qualifying time, wasn't it? The fact that I could match that on a keyboard is on a controller basically is, you know, just saying. Hopefully you guys liked that. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't like it, dislike it, not a problem. Subscribe for more of our league races, and I will see you in the next video.